Come out to the bar.
Hello, YouTube. Cheers and welcome to the basement. My name is Bruce Lively.
D-Boy Slim in the building.
And the Basement Debates is the first. Don't get it twisted. We are the first exclusive hip-hop debate format. We tackle the most intriguing topics in hip-hop culture and the world around it. So, welcome back, Basement family. Happy Kwanzaa. Merry Christmas. Yo, haven't seen you in a minute.
Merry Christmas, Jay.
Merry Christmas to you. Happy holidays. And we're going to get to this. All of that. For the last show of the year, I got something special for you guys. Of course, you know, we're going to have the top 3 battle rappers of 2019. That's for sure. That's a fact. But we're going to do a freestyle format today. You see, your boy D-Boy Slim, he has no idea, no clue of the questions I'm going to pose to him today. And we're going to cover some of the battles, some news, some topics that we may have missed this year, run through it quickly, off the cuff, all leading up to the top 3 battle rappers. I can't wait to see how this goes. Without any further ado, let go. We back.
Definitely. Long overdue. We apologize to our fans and subscribers out there. It's been a while. Life is slowed us down, to be perfectly honest.
Life is funny that way, man. Life's funny that way. We're transitioning into new things, but I do want to let y'all know we're not done. We haven't quit. You've seen the fantasy, the hip hop fantasy draft, the hip hop fantasy head-to-heads we're doing.
Bruce been keeping that on deck for y'all.
Please, we also been putting up beats, all types of stuff for artists that you need. But we're back. This is the end of the year show, and it's going down, people. Number one thing we need to talk about before we get to the top 3. What do you think? Your boy Dame Dash goes on to Big Boy, the radio show, and says again, Jay-Z did Rockefeller dirty. As if we have not adjudicated this enough, I want to hear what you have to say. Is he right? Is he wrong?
It's sad, man, and I'm so glad you brought this topic up because as I was telling you off the camera, I've had a conversation with a friend of mine, and we had this same conversation, and I'm sure many of you have probably seen Dame in recent interviews when he speaks about Jay. And I'm not sure about y'all, but for me, it sounds like one of those girlfriends that you used to have, right? And they scorn. And they definitely scorn, and they hurt, and they're bitter, and they haven't moved on with their life yet. And I think that's his whole problem. I mentioned to Bruce off the camera, off air, that I think if the roles were reversed and it was Dame that was the billionaire and Jay was struggling, to keep businesses afloat and having to rob Peter to pay Paul and stuff like that, then you would hear a different Dame. But I think because of the way the dynamic that is, what it is right now, and Jay being the first billionaire in hip hop, one of the only handful of black billionaires in America, we're seeing this bitterness from Dame, and it gets nasty whenever you ask him something about Jay. And
wait a minute, man. Number one, yes, of course he's in his feeling, because every time you mention Jay, the voice raises just a little bit. He gets a little more aggressive. But let's not act like he is just some dummy.
It's sad.
Did he help create Rockefeller?
That's a fact.
Did he help put Rockefeller on the map?
You could never take that from him.
Did he start it up with a lot of his street money?
That's a fact.
So when the man says that, hey, maybe, just maybe, I turned my back for a second and they did something behind my back, why is he not credible in that statement?
First of all, this is business. This is not your buddy reading up on a quarter pound of weed or, you stole my plug. Like, this is not the street corner, we cannot go about like this is, I'm understanding that there's real business being conducted. Furthermore, in interviews and discussions I've heard with Dame, some of the same guys that Dame has gone on the record and says they're culture vultures, he refuses to do business with these slave owners and things of that nature. Jay seems to have no problem doing business with. And usually, such as the NFL partnership, which Dame tried to undermine or speak down on, they're beneficial to both parties, which is what business is about. So when you say that you turned your back, I don't really quite get that. What does that have to do with business? Like, I don't know what you went to the bathroom or what you talking about you turned your back. I don't get that. So, when he says that, these are further things that indicates that you're in your feelings, that Jay is handling his business. Was he supposed to wait until you came back from your vacation or what? I don't understand what you mean while you're
supposed to include him in the business, even if he was on vacation.
No.
Where's his name?
No, see...
That's what you're supposed to do.
And
if you go away,
go ahead.
As a matter of fact, this year is a perfect example of this. This year, both of us had all types of things going on, from family to music to business, to where this show started to slow down. If by chance I got brand new sponsorships and making all types of new money for the studio, got a brand new camera, you know what I'm saying? And the bar is now set up. And I don't ever say ever again that, well, your boy D-Boy Slim is a part of this. You would feel like I just left you in the dark. I would say, nah, where was you at? You was in the bathroom, fam. So I went ahead and got the new camera.
Well, let's be clear. You've done those things. What you didn't do was exit or try to uninclude me in the business that we both started.
Exactly.
However, the dynamic with...
That's my point.
The dynamic with Jay and Dame is slightly different. And here's why. Because of the fact that it was public when they parted ways. When Rockefeller broke down and there was Kareem, who, as we know, later got arrested for weed or whatever the case, who was always the silent partner in Rockefeller, in which you don't hear him saying Jay is a dirty businessman. And it was Dame and Jay.
Because he doesn't talk.
So, when that publicly broke down, it was a known thing. Like, Jay parted ways, he let it be known. There was nothing secretive about that. On top of the fact,
I don't understand what was that point?
Well, because when he mentions now that I turned my back
while I was selling it and devalued it, and then I stepped away from it because I needed to go do my own thing. Then all of a sudden they do a big deal like that. That was dirty.
That makes no sense, because he made it public that I am leaving this business that we have together and I'm going on my own venture.
Well, we saw in the interview where Dame showed up in his basketball shirt.
What was we talking about in terms of Jay? Let me know.
No one needs to sit here and be...
No one is so to get the fuck out. I don't give a fuck.
But when Dame showed up in his basketball shorts and started yelling at white people, we saw that before it was announced, there was something being done that Dame didn't know about. And they were speaking just to Jay-Z on it. So the public part of it, that's just what we know is public. Behind the scenes, he's saying that those things were going on that he did not know.
Here's where it gets.
When he finds out the same day you find out, and y'all don't have a business together, that's
Here's where it gets messy and mixy.
can be shady.
Here's where it gets messy and mixy. The fact that you find it okay to conduct business meetings in basketball shorts and yell at executives and representatives from the label as if they're your children, and then ask why they chose or opted to deal when it came to Rockefeller Def Jam business, why they opted to deal with Jay
and not you.
It's kind of an oxymoron. Like, it, you know.
Fine.
Furthermore, let me just get this point across real quick. We all know what happened at, well, we don't know the ins and outs and all the dynamics that happened at, but we know what we seen and what we were able to hear publicly, in which Jay had actually turned his back. And when I say turn his back, not turn his back on the business at hand or Rockefeller being his company, but went on vacation for a while, to get away for a while. And while on vacation, there was something made public that now Cameron is now the new president of Rockefeller. So if there's anything to be said about somebody doing dirty business or business behind somebody's back,
that was bad.
Couldn't that be said about Jay? I mean, excuse me.
Bad.
Couldn't that be said about Dame?
That was bad. Fine.
And so when you ask why did Jay choose to go about things in the way he went about it, again, we have to first look at what led to these things or what led to these certain actions. And this is something that's it's all public. It's all, everybody knows what happened. And like I said, for lack of better words, and like we said, we're gonna move on, but can you blame Jay? And like I said, it just seems to be that Dame is mad because the slicker has been out slicked.
Yeah.
And that's what it really looks like. The hustler has been out hustled. And that's just what it looks like. And you're mad, and you're salty, in your own words, you're salty, and you're in your feelings about where Jay's going, what he's done, the moves that he's made, and the people that he's made the moves with.
All right, well, that's been done over and over again for the umpteenth time. I'm just here to say there might be another way to think about it, but I just like what he said to Envy, like his kids won't look up to him because he doesn't own his own business. Nobody wants to do business with someone like that. Shut up. That's the real thing. If you just closed your mouth for a little bit longer, you probably would still have Jay as a partner, and you're darn right. Fine. Okay, what I want to talk about is Nick Cannon. What I want to talk about is Eminem, Fat Joe. I want to talk about the heat that M put out and the whatever you were going to call it that Nick put out in response. Can I get a response from you, D-Boy Slim? I've been waiting to hear this. Holler at the people in the camera, please.
This is why we do this show. And me and this guy could be away for months at a time. And I promise you guys, this is the first time I've actually seen Bruce in some time. And we're right on the same page. He's up on his hip-hop latest. And I do have... something to say.
I figured you would have something to say. First of all, did you hear it? Did he hear the original?
I've heard both parties.
And you heard the response. You heard the second response?
The gang up.
The first gang up, and then the second response with Suge Knight.
Terrible.
Why?
Terrible.
Please tell me.
First of all, salute him.
Once again, proving himself to be.
Those of you that say he doesn't belong in hip-hop, cut it out.
Stop.
This is another
you sound like Dame Dash.
Shining example of why he belongs in hip-hop. This is another shining example. And here's the thing. I'm not too sure of why Eminem chose to...
That's another part.
bring up
that people who don't like him are gonna say.
Bring this situation back to light.
That's all he does.
As he did.
Go after people, hardy, rank on somebody, join on somebody in order to get back in. This is what he does. It's boring. That's what I've heard from those people who don't like him. And few and far between. I'm just giving you the other side. This debate show.
I'm not sure.
As a matter of fact, when I told somebody, I was like, yo, when I told Mr. Suggs himself, All G's Rec, that he had a new one with Fat Joe, the first thing he said was, oh, he must be dissing somebody. And it kind of comes predictable.
Hey.
That being said, go ahead.
Listen. He said that Michael Jordan's, one of his strong points was that he competes all the time.
Yeah.
It was paper bag game or playing checkers. They like anybody who ever spoke about Michael Jordan, it's usually the same thing. This guy competes at everything. Like, who drinks their juice the fastest? You know, he competes at everything.
A little over competitive, yes.
So if you want to accuse him of that, go ahead. But one thing that people would have to agree on is that his strong point, as far as being a hip hop MC, is just that. When it comes to competing, and I mean lyrically and verbally, that's what he does the best.
All right. So what do you think? What do you think about it? And what do you think about the response?
First of all, let me say this: without M's verse, it's a good song.
It's all right.
I love the beat. Yeah. I love Dre, the producer, rapping on it. I love Fat Joe's verse. I'll tell you, a lot of people where everybody just skips to M verse.
Right.
The other part of the song doesn't exist, and I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to say that. Like Fat Joe, you got one right there. Like
again.
So then the hit man to stay relevant for the last 20 years with a hit.
I don't understand it.
Banger.
Just every year, every couple of years.
So those of you that may have thought that Fat Joe
never
did it he was lucky, or he stumbled upon this, or it was that. He knows how to put together. By now, we all should know that he knows how to put together good songs and good music. That's just a fact. Now, with that being said, let's go to the M and Nick Cannon. Again,
M killed it.
Let me reiterate, this is what M does, and he does it just as good as anybody. Nick, I think should stick to Wildin' Out. Damn! It's unfair even. And I would understand when somebody says, well, you pull Nick into a battle, that's not fair. But you're a grown man. The man is actually talking about your baby mom. Defend her right. Defend your honor. You do what you gotta do. It's not like you haven't rapped before. Mm-hmm. It's not like you haven't tried to make $1 or fool us before as a rapper. So, do what you gotta do. With the route that he chose, I think I'm gonna speak for myself. I can't speak for everybody else, but I think that was kind of corny. Putting Suge Knight on the intro, also corny. So that's what we had, 2 strikes?
Yeah, he did 2. He did 2 in response.
Charlie Clips and Hitman on the joint, although they're nice lyricists and battle rappers. Listen.
So you heard what Mook said about that.
Listen,
Mook was like, I hope you know who you're battling here.
First of all, leave that man alone. And second, you're defending a man who's in defense of his baby mom.
Yeah, let him break. He's supposed to be doing that alone.
Right. So you're in defense of Mariah, or what's happening here? Like you're a do boy for Nick, or what's happening here?
Wait a minute. Is that what you just said?
You may be
just said Charlie Clips.
You may be under Impossible or whatever Nick's record label is. You look like a shooter for hire type, like a gunner. Like they didn't want to get you on. He didn't want to promote a track with you just talking about your life story or anything. all of a sudden when M says something about his baby mom, you come out the woodworks like, yeah, I'll shoot your head off. Like, it's corny. Like it looks corny on the surface. And when you listen to it, although the raps themselves, they're well architected or well orchestrated because you are a wordsmith, it looks and feels corny. This is what everybody is trying to tell you. Like, it looks and it feels corny. Like, it's corny. Suge Knight, who will never see the light of day, who, as we just said about Dame, you want to talk about somebody that's mad in their feelings. Well, his producer that used to be at Death Row is damn near worth $1 billion, just like Jay's worth $1 billion. So, of course, if you put Suge Knight on there, he would say, fuck Eminem. Like, that's a no-brainer. It's corny, though. It's corny. Nobody's scared of this guy.
What about the fact that they brought up the old mixtape where he was talking about black females and how much they suck?
If that meant something,
give him a pass?
You wait until he talks about your baby mom to bring that up. Now it means something. And if it meant something, why nobody else has said anything about it?
We all knew about it from a long time ago.
Fat Joe,
he earned his...
obviously thought enough about him to put him on his track. So if Fat Joe the Gangster says it's cool, I'm okay with it. Fat Joey Crack has never done nothing dishonorable, so I'm okay with it. Furthermore, he's a good rapper. We cannot deny the fact that he's a good rapper. And you're not, Nick.
Oh!
Like, I'm just gonna keep it all.
You gotta lean into the camera. You're going out the camera.
I'm just gonna keep it a stack. Your verses were whack. And we knew that. It's nothing that we didn't know already. But I guess M's made it a point to make a fool of you, and he succeeded.
You took the bait.
Yeah, he succeeded. What's your take on it?
My take is simple as this. You were trying to make a name for yourself. You thought he brought you back into the game. Just like you thought you was back in the game at the BET Awards when they put you on a funny ha-ha cipher of non-rappers. That's what you are. Now, can you rap? Yeah, man. The Cannon has had some... I'm going to be honest. He can rap. You can't rap like Eminem. You can't rap like anybody on your label. You're not better than anybody on your label. So when you bring them in to fight your battle, it just would have looked better if you would have just said your whack lines by yourself and stood up like a man on your own. It would have at least saved some face. But then when everybody out raps you on your own song, it looks like not only did you need a team, but you suck at rapping. And I don't think he sucks at rapping. I think he's okay.
I think he's trash. I mean, we're going to call a spade a spade.
He's all right.
We made this platform.
I've heard worse.
We made this platform, to be honest.
I've heard worse.
And I will not lie to the people. I will not lie to you. He's trash. And everybody knows it.
The mere fact that now, how many I thought that there would be somebody, because how many Eminem haters there are on YouTube. Everybody wants to be not like the other. I thought for sure that I would hear a bunch of bad stuff. Everybody trashed him, and that was just horrible. That's all I'm going to say about that. Every YouTube review was a laugh out loud fest of people looking at this stuff.
Even
like,
the
man,
battle rappers that, support battle rap and the guys who are trying to make a way for themselves outside of the arena of battle rap, such as Charlie Clips and Hitman on the Wildin' Out show and with Nick Cannon, they said it was garbage. It was garbage, and that's no hate. A lot of times when people say things they don't like this or this wasn't good, people say, "Oh, you're hating." That's no hate. That's definitely our feeling and the consensus as to Nick Cannon putting other dudes on the battle song against him, and you're like Bruce alluded to, your verse being the wackest, and then you get Charlie Clips and Hitman to talk and defend your honor of your baby mom. Like, it's whack. It's garbage.
Yeah, now that that's over, that's funny. Next, listen, R.I.P. Juice WRLD. R.I.P. Juice. At the end of the year, we always come through. We're gonna do the top 3. Just stay tuned. Listen, enjoy the daggone show. Get your drink ready. I got right here some Evan Williams, Bottle and Bond, 100%. it's because it's the end of the year, and what happens is you reflect. And as we reflect, you remember those you lost. Juice WRLD. Did I watch him? Did I listen to him all the time? No. Do I know his importance to the music today? Yes.
Did he have a fan base?
Yes. Did he help move hip hop forward? Yes, he did. I would say that.
That I'm not so
No,
sure.
no. I'm gonna tell you why. Number one, his music was actually dope. It was good. It was banging. It did tell the story that he and a lot of people like him are going through, which is what I give a lot of these young guys the credit for. Because you can't rap like RZA or Raekwon doesn't mean that your story isn't worth being told. He's telling a story that needed to be told by these young people. The depression is real, the drugs are real, and I say it all the time. When they say it, they're not joking. We take it as a joke, but they're not joking. We used to do the same thing in punk rock. Thought they were joking. They're not, okay? So I know what that means to a generation that's younger than mine, and for that, R.I.P. Juice WRLD.
That's a fact.
What you
R.I.P.
gotta say?
A lot of serious issues that you just brought up, and I think it needs to be taken as such. It's definitely serious, and this whole generation, as far as promoting the heavy drug usage and even drug abuse, I mean, you know, there's been this ongoing debate between the new generation and the old school heads or hip hop fans and alumni such as myself that, you know, the era we grew up in, and you know, you make your own decision as to what's better than what, or maybe none of it's good, but we came up talking about selling drugs. You know, when you talk about Jay-Z, when you talk about even Nas and you know, some of the UGK and you know, those dudes that we came up listening to. Whereas if you listen to the music nowadays, it's vastly different. They talk about more drug usage, and that's definitely real. To the point where we see young artists, and he's not the first one. I can't think of the other young guy's name. But,
Peep.
Right. And it's like, it's sad. In my research or in studying about the guy or whatever, it was said that he was one to promote that in his music. Now,
But with the idea of consequences, like I said, the reason what people don't understand about Peep and him is no matter how much you want to laugh at it as an old head, they mentioned the consequences of that. It was because of the depression. It's because of the way society is so intertwined now. You can't be by yourself. This medium that we go through has changed the way people act and think. Not so much us, but those growing up with it. And that depression shit is real. Those drugs that they take is for reasons now. They look at the president, like which we're going to get to. Look at what's going on, just like in the 80s when you said what's going on, you look to rap music to find out what that was. And it was niggas selling drugs to make life happen, to selling what Reagan gave to them. Like there's a lot more than just, hey, I was selling drugs. It tells a story of what's happening with the youth
in
of the
society.
day.
Facts.
And when you hear them talk about that, yeah, there's some that just say, hey, I drink, I smoke, I hit lean all day and nothing ever happens. But for the most part, those ones that really make it, what I found out, even Triple X, was they're talking about why.
there's a story behind it.
There's a story behind it.
Got you.
All right, with that, yo, salute to the young boys everywhere, man, that's doing hip hop.
And all you
especially
Juice WRLD fans, you know, you took it as a big loss. It's a loss in hip hop nonetheless.
One more thing before we get to some very serious battle rap.
Yes.
Two more things. Well, no, one more. Do you know Sean Price and Lil Fame have an album called The Price of Fame? Brand new.
Brownsville, shout out.
Yo.
Look at that.
Yo, I'm going to skip over that. You probably haven't heard it yet, but for the people out there, this is why we're here.
Brownsville.
It's crazy. It's nasty. It's not politically correct. Sean Price goes places that I don't think would have that anybody else can go unless you're from Brownsville.
It's hard though.
It's hard.
And I haven't even heard it.
No, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. Beats is hard. Rhymes is hard from both parties. Like I said, your boy said some things that you probably would have got away with in 91.
Sean Price and Lil Fame that's Lil Fame of MOP and Sean Price of the Boot Camp Click. Helter Skelter, am I right?
Facts.
All right.
Facts. And it's fire. Just check it out for yourself. I figured I'd throw that one in there because if people looking for real hip hop and the only things they find out here is Griselda music, which is the best hip hop label right now.
It's hip hop, man.
Period. I'm not even gonna argue that.
Ain't getting nothing by on this guy right
But I figured Sean Price and Lil Fame need to get a shout out from us. But last but not least, did you know? You said you didn't know. Gangstar, brand new Gangstar. One of the songs that first came out was Guru and J. Cole on the same joint. I forget there's another one, but y'all check it out. Mass Appeal. Mass Appeal. Nas. Brainchild. Or not Brainchild, but he bought in at the right time, to tell you that much.
Nas, Mass Appeal is Nas.
Yeah, it's his label.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that was his label all the time, though. I think Mass Appeal had a type of a music channel, and he bought into it and became the label owner. That is what my research tells me. Especially when I first heard about it, I think we brought that up 2 years ago. Anyway, Guru, yes, he's back. New Gangstar. J. Cole is there. A lot of the greatest artists that's out right now, of course, is gonna be a part of it. It's dope. Let's get to the battles. First thing, did you see Charlie Clips versus Math Hoffa?
I did.
What did you think? RBE, stand up. What did you think?
I got Clips. I think Math Hoffa is he's been on a decline for a minute.
Yes, I'm not sure I've seen him win decisively in 2 years.
Yeah, it's so
2 years.
I'm not really sure, but Clips is forever.
Clips, on the other hand, is
continuing to get busy. That's what's gonna lead us into our next subject, which is who's the best, who you guys think and who we think are the best battlers in the game today. And I'm interested in seeing who Bruce feels the top 3 battlers in the game. But as far as the RBE usually keeps some hot battles too. I must shout them out too. Rare Breed Entertainment.
Clips is a part of 3 questions that I'm bringing out. Before we get to the top 3, I'm just bringing out some battles that we haven't talked about. Of course, we talked about Sue Surf versus Geechee Gotti. Of course, we talked about Arsenal and Goods versus... you say it. I don't want to say it. Arsenal and Goods versus...
Cass.
No more.
You think about it.
Yeah.
I'm not even so sure about the Goods and Cass, but the Arsenal Cass. That
was just tough. Listen, but when we look at some of the best battles, I'm also gonna bring out Charlie Clips versus New Jersey Twerk. Who wins that?
That's Clips.
Is it Clips again?
That's Clips.
To me, it's Clips again. So now when we get to the question, who's your top 3? And see, I'm looking at it as this year. Right? So I mean we go back and forth who has the best resume from all types of years, but we're talking about this year. I'm looking at someone who's battled more times, consistently won. It has to be Sue Surf. It has to still be Geechee Gotti. And it has to be Charlie Clips.
I like that.
It has to be.
I like that.
Gotti still has the belt. Gotti still doesn't have any disqualifying losses or been owed by anybody. And most of the time when I see him, every time I've seen him this year, was a win except for Sue Surf, which is why Sue Surf gets the nod. Because everybody that Sue Surf battles, when he wins. And everybody that Charlie Clips battled, he won. If anybody can tell me that who of those 3 has lost all year, then you have a different top 3 than I do.
Well, I definitely have a whole different top 3 than you do, and I'm glad because this will let our fans know that, you know, although we agree a lot, we this is a debate show and we disagree. And I have a totally different perspective and for different reasons. First of all, you're wrong when you say that Geechee never lost to anybody except Surf because he lost to K-Shine. Period. And although, you know, Surf washed them, probably a 3-0, probably 30'd them.
No, I wasn't.
I'm not. What? Oh. I'm not sure that he may have gotten around against K-Shine. I don't really. He may have gotten.
From what I remember about that, though, man,
against K-Shine, maybe
that's disputable still.
But definitely an L. Because you talking about K-Shine, he's been cooking for the last 2 years, ever since the Rex.
Yes, he has.
He rolled over Rex.
I kind of feel like K-Shine would have been in that running for sure.
He's been cooking. So,
but how many battles did he have this year?
A few. As a matter of fact, what did I seen him dust Tay-Rock off.
Oh yeah. Ooh, you're right.
Smack hasn't released the footage. I think, what was it, him and Reed Dollars, or he battled somebody. I don't think the footage has been released yet. But yeah, K-Shine.
Hey, this is the last show, so we're gonna find these and put them up on Patreon.
Facts, as we do.
Everybody listen, we've gained a few more Patreon members because of doing that,
and so
we're gonna continue to do that. We appreciate
Salute
that.
Y'all.
Yo, that's what got this new camera.
It's going to improve the show always. So.
I'll take that. I won't even think twice. I'm not even argue with you about that.
I'm not gonna hold y'all. My top 3 battles in the game now, because I know Bruce is ready to jump down my throat. Like, yo, this year. Nah, I got you. This year, 2019, the top 3 battlers in the game. That you know that's coming.
If you say,
you know that's coming.
You just a bulls. Yo, fam.
You can't. You gonna have your Henny cup, right?
Fam,
and then I put goods in there.
Fam,
like, listen,
what
man.
did he have versus Cassidy? That's it,
man. That which was arguably the battle of the year.
No, that you're lying. You're lying to yourself.
What are we talking about here?
You're lying to yourself and to people.
What are we talking about?
When we reviewed it, you said it wasn't that good.
What are we talking about?
When we reviewed it, you said it wasn't that good. No, how was that all of a sudden?
The odds and cash was terrible.
No, fam, we can look it up right now. We looked at it. Listen, it was disappointment. It wasn't Good's best battle.
You had your top 3 battlers.
Go ahead.
I'm telling you, I myself personally, in the 3-4 years of watching Goods, I haven't seen him catch an L. Like I've yet. If somebody, as a matter of fact, give me feedback. Who has Goods lost to? If somebody could riddle me that, then I might backstep on what I'm talking about. But I haven't seen Goods catch an L. And those are against Hitman. Let's just keep it this year.
Go ahead.
You know, your T-Tops, your Cassidys, he hasn't lost yet. So, and it's been decisive.
Next.
Okay. We would agree on the Sue Surf issue because Sue has been cooking. And he's one of those, I'm glad to watch every time he comes out and pops out because it's like watching LeBron, right? Because every time you watch him, he seems to have improved at something in his game, right? You know, whether it's his stage performance, wordplay, you know, how he's delivering it, cadence, like he seems to, He's definitely at the top tier battle rap, and if you ask Smack, Norbs, Beasley, or any other battle rap league, RBE, K. Dot, they're gonna tell you the same. Like Sue Surf is as good as it gets right now. And as a matter of fact, they just booked the battle between him and Lux, so I'm intrigued to see how that goes.
Did you see Lux?
We can make predictions about that. But
in the tag team, did you see Lux in the tag team battle?
But Smack was smart enough to get that booked and signed and dotted in the ink. And I'm interested to see how that goes because he may because Lux, as we've seen in recent years, has kind of been on the decline. Although we always credit him for the most epic battle in definitely in URL history. But
that's
maybe
why
in battle rap history.
It's important to see what he did recently. He has one. I think he's shown himself.
But versus
Verb.
The tag team joint. And some people had him in the Averb joint.
Yeah, I got him.
Although I
got him.
Averb.
I got you, Lux.
Some may say 2-1 of Lux. Some may have it 2-1 Verb, to be honest with you, but it's debatable to say the least. And that's not the same Lux that wiped out Calico and coined the phrase, he gonna get this work. And so, when you think about that Lux and the Lux we've seen in recent years, it's kind of two different Luxes. But, people catch up, competition catches up. With that being said, getting back to it, like I said, my second
Goods, Sue Surf.
Goods and Sue Surf. Now, third, and this one might surprise you, but the third one for me is Big K.
That's not a surprise. I just don't know how much he's rapped this year. I haven't got to see a lot.
See,
I missed it.
He does it in other battle arenas, and that's where people, he's not always on URL like that. I don't know if
look at D-Boy Slim with the Big K.
Yeah, but with the Big K and somebody, the white
the undercut
boy or whatever the case. But you listen, I've seen Big K go with the best of them, and he's another one. And I'm talking about when it comes to Arsenal and all the other
K's dead.
heavy hitters that you
can't believe I haven't seen
that you've seen and heard.
Let me see what the heck Big K does.
He's gotten busy. He's gotten busy, and
dang.
Right.
No, but the thing with me is his competition usually is like just not as. It's hard to say he's the best when he hasn't competed against the best. We got Rum Nitty.
You got Calicos.
T-Top, who gets beat all the time.
T-Tops.
He gets beat all the time. Come on.
Does not. Well, against top tier competition.
Yeah, I mean, Reverse. Who's Reverse? Big K versus Reverse.
But
versus Geechee Gotti. Gotti got him. I did see that.
You're lying to yourself again. You're lying. And as a matter of fact, we could watch that right after.
See. Yeah, we could check this out because
we get off.
If I'm tripping,
I guarantee you would change it. And there's the other one that Geechee Gotti lost to. While I'm thinking about it, he took that L with Geechee.
Okay.
So, yeah, Big K.
Clips is winning everything this year. So
in case y'all forgot about him, let's not forget about the white boy from Virginia. Big K, salute. He's
my lack of knowledge on the subject.
The third one that goes into my category. So I got Good, Surf, and Big K.
Okay.
There it is. Those are my top 3 battlers as of 2019. Period.
Okay. We got this lined up. We're gonna watch this afterwards, and I'll give you guys if I need to do a revisement, I'll let you know.
He will owe me an apology.
I'll let you know. If I have to do a revisement,
he will owe me an apology.
I will let you know.
And that's okay.
I will let you know.
What I'm saying? This is what we've come to be familiar and get used to.
Is him apologizing. I understand. So this will be new for you.
D-Boy being right.
Right. This will be new for you if I do have to. But we'll take a look. Last thing, last but not least, your president in 2019 is being impeached. Now, I only do this at rare occasions. They're epic, the rants I have, when it comes to this politics. We try to keep it out. But hip-hop is politics, and when you hear somebody rapping next year, this will be a point that somebody puts in somewhere. This will be a jewel people's drops, because it's a social anomaly, your president. It's only the third time in our history someone's been impeached, and he's been impeached. But it's the first time in our history that the person who was impeached is a known liar, fornicator, idiot, slow person, and still accepted as such. When somebody got impeached, there was a problem before. People used to say, no, I didn't vote for him. Well, how did he win? Nobody voted for Bush. I remember that.
And to the people who voted for him.
But these people still rock with him. I'm almost done.
Is this what you were looking for?
They still rock with him, which lets me know this is what they were looking for. He was impeached. The Democrats suck because they only impeached him for 2, even though he's done 100 different crimes since he's been in office. Fine, we're not gonna go there. But is this who we've become, people? If so, I want to hear no more talk about the immorality of hip hop, about the bitches, about the drugs, about the hoes.
Grab him by the pussy.
I don't want to hear no more talk about the immorality of hip hop. I don't want no more black people because they vote for him.
Grab him by the pussy.
Black people have voted for this guy. I don't want to hear no more of y'all talking about what we need to do in our community and how we disrespect our women. If this is now what it's become, the guy who got impeached and still stayed at his same 42% approval rating without any change after the impeachment, the next time I hear any one of you, black or white, tell me about hip hop and its immorality, I'm gonna kick you in the neck, in the face, then the neck.
Here's the thing.
That's my rant.
He still stands trial, and from my understanding,
It's already gonna be acquitted. It's the Senate that does it, and they've already decided to work with the president
and not put him out of office, which is disgusting.
and not be impartial.
You know,
Do you know you have to put your hand on the Bible and swear to be impartial in order to do the next phase?
but hey,
And they said before they even put their hand on the Bible, they're not going to be impartial. So when they do that, they're going to be lying on the Bible.
it's a wonder to me how the guy's not in jail already.
Been in jail.
If you decide to keep him in office, and let him kick his feet up as an impeached president for the rest of his term, so be it. It's an indication, as Bruce alluded to, where we're at as a people and society. Why, you have kids like Juice WRLD and these other kids. Like it all coincides with one another, And I think that will be my final statement. It's disgusting. It's been disgusting since his wife stole Michelle's speech. It's
the level of buffoonery.
It's ridiculous.
Is beyond the pale, people. The fact we're still okay with this lets me know where we've really gone in our country. Our education system sucks. Obviously, we're a country full of ignorance, and the rest of us don't vote. Happy New Year.
With that being said, yeah, we got some dope shows coming for you.
Next year is gonna be crazy.
And no, we're not just a battle rap debate show. We got brand new topics, brand new subject matters, brand new dopeness, brand new music. We got y'all. We're gonna be bringing you the latest and greatest in hip hop as we usually do, and we're gonna debate about it as we always have done.
It's the first hip hop debate platform. There's a lot of hip hop shows out there, people, but when we started head-to-head debate about single topics, nobody did. We did this 4 years ago now. YouTube has kind of brought us back down, but we don't forget what y'all made us rise up.
Probably for talking about the president as we just did, and me and him are gonna get into monetizing and things like that because I've recognized, and I'm sure Bruce have recognized, that YouTube does kind of play favor as to certain subject matters and content that we put out, or lack thereof, or what have you, and it does have some things to do with the monetizing and the views and such. But that's not y'all problem to figure out. That's us. But one thing we will always do is be 100% honest and 100% pure. Whether they mess with the monetizing or try to mess up our views and such like that. We always going to keep it real with y'all and keep it a stack as far as this hip hop thing is concerned. That's what we started it for. That's what we end out with.
Happy Kwanzaa, people. The new year is coming, 2020. Peace.
I Stayed in Pocket is just something. When you hear it and you're like, that's how rap is meant to be. You know, that's how it's meant to sound. Like, there's a message on top of a beat, and the guy's holding the beat, rhyming steady on top of the beat, and he's delivering a message on top of that. Like,
it's some behind the scene footage, some single round. The thing is he's controlling his environment to ensure that he can win these battles. I only want one round. You can't talk about my daughter. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And then when he finally gets to the URL stage, he's had 5 years to write for the one guy who he's battling. That's what's up.
That's the thing, man. You niggas want to be the toughest and the baddest and the wildest. I just want to enjoy life. That's the whole difference, man. That's why Nas' reputation, that's gangster, man.
Facts.
That's gangster. This whole foolery and buffoonery is that, like I said, how amazing this is, how groundbreaking this is, how much of how impactful this is to those of us who are actually paying attention to the positive that this does. You know, with the NFL in recent years, and you had issues like concussion, domestic abuse, just to name a few. You see this now where the NFL tries to do a deal with somebody of the likes of Jay-Z. Jay-Z's prided his career about the struggles he went through. The Jay-Z, we all know for the culture, one of the best rappers, hit song makers, album makers of this generation, and probably beyond, maybe the best to ever do it as far as hip-hop is concerned. Yeah, this Jay-Z. Let's get into Jay-Z after music, after the rap. The Jay-Z that brought the Nets to Brooklyn, that was in New Jersey. Like, he brought the Nets to Brooklyn. The Brooklyn Nets is a prominent franchise right now. 40-40 clubs all over the world, Jay-Z. Jay-Z that 21 Savage was about to be deported. Jay-Z's not from Glenwood or East Atlanta. I mean, he has no 21 Savage not signed to Roc Nation. The Jay-Z that stood beside Meek Mill, you know, as you know, he screamed about prison reform and not only screaming about it, putting their money, $5 million up, putting their money where their mouth was.
Tell me something. What was the result of those things that Jay-Z did?
All effectively resolved.
Oh, okay. Where's Meek Mill now?
They just formed a label together.
Oh, that's the guy.
Still continuing to put their money where their mouth.
I'll tell you what. Where's 21 Savage?
Still currently in the country, resolved of any court case or wrongdoing or deportation.
Okay.
Handled.